How often should you be doing your bookkeeping? I can count on one hand the number of clients who have ever said they love bookkeeping. Now, before we look at frequency, we need to get clear on what we're talking about because bookkeeping means different things to different people. And if you're behind right now, don't worry at all. We'll get to that. For many people, bookkeeping means getting all the bank transactions into QuickBooks or Xero and categorizing each one until you see that nice check mark with the word reconciled. That's definitely part of the job, but the way I think about it, there's a few more things going on. Collecting the documents, categorizing transactions, reconciling the accounts, and making the year-end adjustments. So these are all different jobs with different rhythms, and some belong to your accountant or bookkeeper. For document collection specifically, the best recommendation I can make is to do it as transactions happen. Now, fair pushback here, for a lot of what runs through a PC, the bank statement tells the story on its own. Professional dues are professional dues. But where the habit earns its keep is with the rest. The conference expenses, the Amazon orders, the charge that could be personal or corporate. Those come back as questions later, and tracking them down a year out is the genuinely painful part. Or even worse, your bookkeeper is making their best guess what the transaction represents, and you'll see if it holds up if someone actually looks at it later. Now, with source documents, you could try to save only the ones that matter or the ones that you think might be ambiguous. But honestly, deciding usually takes longer than just filing it. So if you only take one habit from this entire video, please make it this one. If you have a paper receipt, something you purchased, take 10 extra seconds, put it into one folder or a box on your shelf. Online purchase, take 30 extra seconds, save it into one folder. No scanning, no renaming, no processing. You're absolutely not going for optimal here. You're just getting everything into one place while you still know what it is. Now, for categorizing transactions, monthly is the gold standard. This is because monthly gives you timely numbers all year long. What to set aside for tax, what's moved between you and your PC. But it may come as no surprise, most PCs are not run with monthly bookkeeping. But a month of activity for a solo PC is small enough that you can get it done in one coffee. And when your accountant sits down to start your year-end work, for our example here, we'll say conservatively 2 months after your year-end. And by then, your books are only 1 month behind. Now, quarterly is the practical baseline if you still want fresh enough numbers to make decisions with. Your mileage may vary, but my own rule of thumb based on how my memory works, within the month, I'll remember what a purchase was. 1 to 3 months, it's getting a bit fuzzy. Past 3 months, good luck remembering anything. Quarterly keeps you inside the fuzzy zone, and for timely decisions, it's still pretty good. Come year-end time, you're only a couple months behind, and throughout the year, your numbers are always within 3 months. Now, once a year is the one that I see the most. It works in the sense that the year-end still gets done, but it's perpetual catch-up. By the time your accountant sits down to start the year-end work, your books are already 14 months behind, and they typically get wrapped up somewhere between the tax payment deadline 3 months after year-end and the filing deadline at 6 months. So even fully caught up, your newest numbers are 3 to 6 months old already, and the oldest transactions you're reconstructing are pushing 12 to 18 months. Nothing is fresh in your mind, and you're always looking in the rearview mirror. Now, full disclosure, my own PC books were annual catch-up for the first few years. Yes, it's the shoemaker's kid's problem, so I absolutely get it. And if you're in this boat, you're in very good company. Now, why does this even matter? Now, the question I get arguably the most often is, how much tax am I going to owe this year? And it's usually asked before the year has wrapped up. With annual bookkeeping, the answer usually sounds something like, well, how much did you owe last year? With quarterly bookkeeping, it's more like, Let's take a look at what you have and project out the rest of the year. With monthly, it's let's look at your real numbers, maybe extrapolate a little, and give you a firmer estimate since we're mostly dealing with actual numbers. It's the same question, but the answer is pretty different based on the information your accountant has to work with. Before we close, if you're more than a quarter behind right now, don't try to fix the whole year overnight. I know how it feels to have a full year of activity hanging over your head and you're not even sure where to get started. It's not particularly fun, but start the folder today so the backlog stops growing. Then pull the statements together and batch the categorization or just give it to someone to handle. And from here forward, hopefully everything is a little more fresh and less painful to handle. And wrapping things up, document transactions as they happen. Collect all those documents. Categorize monthly if you can, quarterly as the baseline if you want timely data. I hope that was helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.